We're talking turkey and talking tablets all today. Before you head out to shop all those Christmas gifts, especially if a tablet's on your list, you may want to compare and contrast.
Our textbook,
like
Dan
English
Thompson, is
literature
here.
paper.
Dan and I were just kind of debriefing. He sits in the studio for about 30 minutes and he gets to see all the behind the scenes, and sometimes it's just funny.
He tweets out about it too sometimes. So
I know, so we have to be careful.
If you want to know the inside scoop of what really happens in the studio, tune in to Dan's Twitter feed.
That's scary.
And
okay.
what is your Twitter, by the way?
Oh, Dan Thompson _TN. It's a mouthful.
Okay.
But yes.
I follow you.
I do too.
Right. That's right.
No, okay. So let's talk about the various tablets you brought with you. One is pink.
One is pink, yes. I have to thank my friend Pam for supplying me with a pink iPad.
And that's the iPad mini.
Yes, this is the iPad mini. So, so to frame this up a little bit, I constantly am asked, hey, there are so many tablets on the market, and now Microsoft just introduced one. Which one do I go with? Should I just go buy the iPad and be done with it, or what? So, also, to add some framing to this, there are people out there who just love Apple products. That's all they're ever going to buy. We're not going to change their minds here, and I don't mean to.
Right.
There are also people who love Android tablets. Same scenario. They're not going to change their mind, and I'm not trying to. So this is a conversation really for the people who are on the fence, or people who are just kind of getting into tablets and don't know where they go. So to start off with the iPad, obviously it is the market standard. Everybody tries to keep up with the iPad, and largely, if we're just totally frank about it, the iPad is a marketing wonder. There's nothing really that much better about the iPad than over the Android tablets. So if you're not sure which to buy, what I usually recommend is go play with them. See which one you like better. The interfaces are distinctly different, so you may find that you just like using the iPad better than the Android, or vice versa. Now, let's stop talking about the iPad for a minute. It gets enough airtime. Let's move on to one of the Android tablets. So this is the Transformer tablet. This thing actually has a full keyboard that you can dock it into that comes with it. This is typical of what you'll see with the Android tablets. So if you're on a budget, go get an Android tablet.
How much is it?
Forget about Apple. These things you can get for $200. The Transformer actually is a little bit more than that, but a typical Android tablet you can get for around $200. The 7-inch ones, they go on up in price depending on what kind of features you want.
And does it do all the things that the iPad does?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's kind of a common question. If you want to do email, Facebook, internet, Android tablets do it just fine. There may be some specific apps that run on Apple that don't run on Android, and vice versa, but for a large majority of the apps out there, Android will do them, like Evernote or you know, Angry Birds. And frankly, Angry Birds, all 5 editions, are all free on the Android marketplace, whereas you're going to pay $1.99 on Apple and $5 on Microsoft's website. So Android, a lot of times you can get out cheaper, and it does the exact same thing.
And it looks nice. Wait, Dan, we've got so much more to talk to. We want to get to the last tablet you've brought, the Microsoft one.
Yes.
Coming up in a moment, but let's go to break. We'll be right back.
You're watching Mornings with Fox 43, powered by 10 News.
Welcome back, everyone. We continue our conversation now with our tech expert, Dan Thompson, and we were just wrapping up with
the Android tablets.
The Android tablets.
Yeah, and the big takeaway there is that it's simply, it does a lot of the same stuff that the Apple tablets do. If you're just not sure which one you should buy, you should definitely check out the Android tablets. One thing to take away about the Android tablets, though, is each manufacturer has a slightly different spin on the user interface. So one Android tablet may look slightly different than another one, whereas if you pick up an Apple tablet, they all look the same. So that is a little bit of a difference you'll want to know when you go buy them. Now, the next conversation to have is Microsoft Surface. Now, this is kind of the big new entrant into the tablet market. Now, what you can do with Surface is it comes with a full-blown version of Microsoft Office on it. So if you're kind of used to using Evernote or whatever on your iPad, and you have to copy and paste all that stuff out into a document once you get to work, now with what Surface does is it allows you just to take those notes or work on full-fledged documents, save them, and then you can just use them like you always have with your laptop. Once the Pro version comes out, you'll be able to use all your original applications like Photoshop or Lightroom or QuickBooks or whatever. So this kind of really moves the laptop into a tablet form factor, and then allows you much more mobility.
Show our viewers my favorite part of this.
What was your favorite part of it?
That was the little stand.
Oh, the stand. Yes, the kickstand.
It comes built in with a kickstand.
Yeah, it does come built in, and I always have trouble getting my fingers under it. But so it does come with a little kickstand. And what this allows you to do, obviously, is when you set it up on a table, it has its own little way of stabilizing itself. Microsoft spent a lot of time actually talking about the forward-facing camera is actually at an angle, so that when you have this setting at an angle, it's not like pointing at your ceiling.
So if you're Skyping or something?
That's right. So if you're Skyping, it's actually aimed right at where your face would be.
Smart. That is so smart, because my iPad is so hard for me to work the case to where it props up.
Me too.
I have to get something to
keyboard
prop it
there on that one too.
Yeah, the keyboard is nice. It pops off. It's just magnetic. Microsoft really took a lot of notes about what is right and what is wrong about the iPad, and then they really stuck it into the Surface.
Dan Thompson, a pleasure as always.
Yeah,
we'll see you for our Black Friday circulars
See you tomorrow. Yep.
Sounds good. You're watching Morning